What's happening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It is Monday. Mad Monday, the start of the week with the OG and getting it down on this rainy Monday. It's kind of sort of going to be a part two of a conversation because I actually got this topic from the cult leader himself, Mad Mike Sports. Um, and we're going to get into that. This Michael Vick delusional uh, cultivation, if you will. Um, you know, in understanding what is and why is and how is. The mindset is just Michael Vick is just the god. Of Atlanta, and I'm just really haven't been. I do understand it, but I don't understand it because in a lot of many different ways it makes no sense. But in one major way, it makes total sense. This being Black Nana and all, you know what I'm saying? So it's just I just wanted to put a real strong you know cap of understanding to that, which was started by a poll that Mad Mike did, a few days ago. Um, but we're gonna start off
Yeah.
um, going back a little bit further than that on our first topic, which involves the quote unquote unicorn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Atlanta Falcons dropped a video out of camp showing one Kyle Pitts putting in work, running the route tree, getting timing down, putting in work with his quarterback. Now, it has been said, it has been insinuated, it has been implied that he wasn't doing anything that he needed to do because he wasn't at tight end university. Well, a video surfaced on, I think it was on Thursday. Um, he running routes, doing film work, um, cultivating some over a month period.
Yeah.
Um, leaving the training facility, after getting, physical therapy, getting MRIs and X-rays done, make sure everything was good to go and all that there. Um, Now, after said video surfaced, I noticed some of those same individuals that was making all these sessions were mighty quiet.
Oh.
The ones that always claim they say they have something positive to say.
They
You
ain't
know,
doing they ain't
they
doing what they
mighty
doing.
quiet. In his having his range of movement and getting crisp, what I'm saying, cuts for what a tight end does in their particular route running. And it's relative. I
Mm-hmm.
find it relatively funny um, when there's video documented evidence that prove the asserted hater mass is wrong. Get quiet. You don't see him posting. You don't see him up nowhere. They ain't tweeting. You know what I'm saying? They ain't posting on Facebook. And all of that there. I just want. What is it? Saying the reality of video documented evidence and facts that proves people wrong, that make them not humble themselves and say, "All right, I was wrong." I just, you know, uh, you know what I'm saying. You know, why is it so hard for people to take it on the chin, if you will? No baby oil included. I'm just
We
saying.
don't do that. We're not. We're not gonna do that today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But we've had people over the last month or so just greasy, and so out there saying it with the chest. You know what I'm saying? But then video document evidence to the contrary.
Right.
And then they're they're just oh no, quiet as a church mouse,
Mm-hmm.
quiet as a church mouse. You know what I'm saying? Just quiet as a church mouse. No, you ain't got no problem trying to stand on this man's neck about not being as tight as you. But then it surface that documents a month worth and most recently the last couple of weeks worth of work. He's getting in, what I'm saying, and getting himself cleared and getting in work with his quarterback and doing film study. And quiet as a church mouse. You can't find him nowhere. See, that's what I say about this Atlanta. I'm not even just gonna say Atlanta Falcons fan base. I'm just Atlanta sports fan base. It just hypocritical morons that hit sin on stuff. And trying to stand on the unwavered narrative, unnecessary narrative,
Yeah.
and then when they get proven to the contrary, and they ain't nowhere to be found.
Yep.
Ain't nowhere to be found. Yeah, Jane, speak to mine.
Oh, so when I seen that video on Twitter, boy, and I said when I seen that man running his routes, that tells you he wants to play with Michael Penix Jr. And not only that, did y'all not see the whole receiving core out there too?
Yeah.
Did you not see Drake London running routes? Ray was out there. Darnell was out there. You don't think they not building chemistry behind the scenes?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. And I think I did see B John out there and Tyler out there too now. So don't think they not building chemistry behind the scenes.
Nash out there, Ray, Quincy, Hodge out there.
Right. And the fact is this. Don't think Michael Penix and Kyle Pitts are not building chemistry one on one too. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Slim Reaper, what's happening?
Slim, what
No,
up?
no, what's going on, fellas, man? Yeah, finally got back to the spot, man. After you had sent me the link and everything,
Yeah.
but the kind of opine what you guys were putting out,
Yeah.
to me when it come to Michael Penix, man, to me it just you know the day when Michael Penix and Matt Ryan were talking with one another, you automatically had a lot of these Atlanta sports fans, as Big Sam quoted, had an issue with it. And that's my problem with a lot of people around here, man. Like when people have an issue with us, when I speak in totality, because that's what I love. I love to speak in context. I
Yeah.
love speaking in totality. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't speak in totality and you can't speak in context, then you shouldn't be talking football. Because at the end of the day, if you're gonna talk football and really talk about how a player's resume or up and coming resume should be, you always have to speak in context.
Right.
But other than that, I'm just looking at how these same people want to sit up here and act like this young boy ain't ready to go. Acting like he's not trained and go because he got Matt Ryan mentoring him and all this other stuff. Whole thing he's gonna mess up his game. This is why I've always said a lot of people outside of Atlanta do not respect Atlanta sports fans.
I know.
I've always said that, and I will continue to say that. And Sam, you know this. You've had people come to you that are not
Mm-hmm.
Falcons fans and have said this to your
Mm-hmm.
face.
Yep.
You've had Steelers fans say this. You've had Saints fans say this. You've had a lot of other opposing fans say this. And people, when it comes to pass and it comes to fruition, all of a sudden everybody around here want to get upset. No, no, blame yourself. Your reputation is notorious. Don't get mad at them. Be mad at yourself. They don't want to look.
Hmm.
They don't want to look themselves in the mirror at all, Chief, at all. But when it comes to Penix, think about it. And Sam, you seen this?
Hmm.
When Michael Penix threw that first interception, what happened? All the same folks right here. Oh yeah, I love Michael Penix. First interception. Oh man, we need to get somebody else.
See what I mean? Slim, it never
Yep.
fails, bro. Huh?
It never fails. It
I'm
don't
telling
matter. It does not matter the color of the quarterback. Don't
you.
matter.
Hey,
It.
remember I say this. Wait, watch the preseason start, and as soon as somebody throw a pick, they're like, "Oh shit, here we go, here we go with the
Mhm.
gas." Yeah,
Because
like,
and the thing is too, not to cut you off, but that's just how I look at a lot of Atlanta sports fans,
nah,
especially Falcon fans. They don't deal in context, bro.
nope,
They don't live in reality,
nope.
none whatsoever. You know what I'm
I,
saying?
they want that. They want that Madden. They want that Madden GM crap.
Hey,
They
as we always say, symbolism over production. Watch when I tell you, these same people that say they love Penix, give it time.
oh,
Give
I
it
know.
time. Give it time. They're gonna do the same thing. It never fails.
It really doesn't. It never
Never
does.
Well,
does.
when speaking, you know what I'm saying, to the Michael Penix Jr. narrative, um, given those 3 games on last season, he had that one mistake.
All right.
That one in 3 games. Um, and it wasn't really much for them negatively to stand on. Um, you know, outside of him, wishing for him to, what I'm saying, run like Jesse Owens.
That's
No, he's a pocket guy.
But there you
Yeah.
go. We've
Mm-hmm.
said this. Now, and you can jump in anytime because
Mm-hmm.
we've said this from the jump. All of us, the entire AFN collective has said this from the jump. He is a pocket passer. They are not going to have that young boy run around and trying to carry it on to try to fulfill people's fantasies of the quarterback that shall remain nameless. Okay, but again, it's like you said. It's like Mike and everybody else have said. The problem with a lot of people is that they still don't want to let go of the 7 days. Like I had an argument with somebody on one of Mike's videos the other day. I told him in an aspect because he said that I was deflecting. I'm like, bro, I speak in context. I don't deflect. There's
right.
a difference, big difference. You don't know the difference between deflection and context? Context is when you look at the whole spectrum, both eras, both teams, both how they're constructed. When you look at how this team is constructed previously, when you look at Two's era, he ain't never had no defense like this. He never had a defense like this. When you look at from the aspect of people not looking at this entire team as a whole and thinking that Penix is going to sit up there and not handle business.
They smoking
I
that.
mean, because based on what occurred, his 3 games, that was a small sample size.
Right.
But it was,
Small sample size.
but it was a great sample size because you
You
saw
know,
a lot. You
you
saw
see
a
how
lot.
he was in the pocket, reading, looking at the defense, going through his pre-snap adjustments, putting everybody in motion. That is how you as a quarterback should be. Not this. Oh, I'm just gonna look around and run. No,
You 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 moving the safety with your eyes,
there you go.
and the poise, having command of the huddle, having command of the offense, having command of the game.
Mm,
You
Oh,
know.
especially when he had the 2 minute drill.
Oh
People,
yeah.
oh that 2 minute drill was lovely,
Hey,
Lovely. It reminded me of two out there.
hey,
And
first,
again, that
yeah,
is what some people don't want to admit to. He was like, damn, bro, he looked like Matt out there. Damn, I miss Matt. I shouldn't have said what I said about Matt. Yeah, because we still hear it now. Oh, I gave Matt Ryan the blues and blah blah blah. Oh, I said this and said that. Oh, the only reason I don't respect Homeboy because he didn't win a Super Bowl. But yet you give the former coaching staff and Kyle Piece of Shitahan passes. But we clearly see how Mr. Kyle Piece of Shitahan has done since he's left Atlanta. Blown two other Super Bowls and has blown 17 to 18
Mm-hmm.
leads since 2017. But as we all know, they only gonna blame the person that's more visible to them instead of someone that's actually constructing the offense. I mean, but hey, I mean, think about it. We're talking to a lot of fans whose IQ is
yeah.
pretty low.
Well, given the affluent evidence of the video, you know what I'm saying, with Kyle Pitts, getting route work in, getting film work in. Needless to say, it can obviously be said, Pitts will be fine.
Oh, Pitt's gonna be straight.
He's gonna
He's
be
gonna
fine.
be
But I mean, probably not to the standard of the masses who wants him to be, Julio-esque at the tight end
well.
position.
Well, I
But
mean,
he's
how I
gonna
look
be
at it.
fine.
I mean, how I look at it from seeing the tape a little bit. I don't care about that. That's the thing. I really don't care about that because see, like you've said in the past, people are just going off the draft pick where he was picked. So they figured, oh yeah, he was going to be the next Julio. No,
No, it's
he
not.
doesn't need to be the next Julio. He needs to be the next Kyle Pitts. That's what he
Every
needs
time
to
I
be.
hear somebody say that, I ask them, what position did Julio Jones play?
Mm.
But no, that is the question. What position did Julio Jones play? He was a receiver.
It was a receiver.
Okay, all right.
It wasn't no tight
We're
end.
we're we're talking about a tight end. Y'all want a tight end to put up receive Julio Jones numbers. You want a tight end to put up, 17, 1,800 yards, 27 touchdowns, 200 catches. That's what they want. That's what all because of where he was drafted at. Now his draft position supposedly dictates him to have to put up those type of numbers. No, it don't. Not at the tight end position. No, it does not.
Uh-uh. Because I mean,
What another thing they don't get, okay, from being drafted at that position, you're expecting him to be the piece instead of a instrumental piece to the collective, and that's not. See, that is not NFL smart.
no, it's not. It's not a man. I get frustrated when I hear that. I mean, because it just really grinds my gears when people say that too. A lot of the fan base per se, they don't understand team building, but yet they'll tell you, me, and so many of others that I'm loyal to the logo. Oh, I've been
No,
a fan since such and such.
no,
But
you
yeah, but I say okay, you say all that, but you don't understand the definition of team building, player development. Let me say that again for the hearing impaired. Player development. They don't get that, man. When Kyle Pitts was drafted, he was never meant to be a wide receiver. They drafted him as a tight end. You may have seen what he did in Florida and all that, but no, he was drafted to be a tight end to
and,
move the
and
chains.
to that point right there, Rashad, Florida did not do him any favors in preparing him to be a tight end in the NFL.
Mm-mm.
They
They
did
had
him.
him
He's
they had
at the
him running
X.
routes.
He's at the Y. He's at the slot. He's at the flanker. He did everything in such a. How you gonna make a guy that's 6'6", 250 a receiver?
Because he was like a joker.
How that work?
Mm.
I mean, because the way they had him in
Calvin
Florida,
Johnson wasn't even 250 pounds. He was 235, 240.
because I mean, when you go back to Florida, they had him everywhere. They had him like a jack of all trades, a joker. But when you come to the league, when you come to the NFL, all that stuff you did in Florida don't matter. It don't work. It don't work that way. But a lot of people, again, they fall for the highlights. A lot of people around town go for the highlights. They want the highlights and the bragging rights. They don't want the production. You know what I'm saying? That's why I've always said too many people in this town are too concerned or too infatuated with trying to look good instead of be good.
See,
You want to
see,
look good, but then you complain about how we don't win, we don't get no respect. Two, we don't have no championships. You wanting to look good is the reason why that trophy case is still empty and will be empty until people say to themselves, okay, man, I don't want to look good no more because looking good ain't done nothing for the Atlanta Falcons for almost 60 years. Because 2026 will be the 60th anniversary of this football team, of this franchise. And what have you got to show for it? No Super Bowl. No nothing. No Lombardi sitting in that trophy case.
Nope.
People don't
I,
want to talk about that, fellas. They don't want to bring that up.
well, is it in the closing of topic number one, like the banner says, Pitts will be fine, and no amount of fantasy wanting like being at tight end you or things of that nature is gonna satisfy some of your mind's eye concept. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to, and that's getting in time with his quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um,
No, he'll be straight, man. I'm not listening to these characters, man. Pitts is gonna do what he needs to do. Zach Robinson is gonna put that man in a position to be successful because I think Kyle will probably have a more better understanding of the offense, so he'll be able to be more, um, how should I say, more useful, more better, more. Let me take that back. I'm sorry. He'll be utilized better.
well, when it comes to the Zach Robinson point,
Yeah.
um, Zach is going to be able to get into his bag like he
Yeah,
was true, what I'm saying, truly able to do um on last season for many a multitude of factors. Um, there was the uh Kirk Cancer Cousins factor, um, among other things. Uh,
yeah,
but I think in year two, and having a lot of options in place, having a lot of necessaries in his actual place, he's going to be able to, what I'm saying, get into his bag in his scheme in his playbook. And I think we're going to see a multitude of things. You know what I'm saying? Um, our underneath game, our offensively, is going to be on a whole nother level. And the ability to take the top off of defenses is going to be at a premium. Um, our ability to get extremely rough, rugged, and physical with the run game is going to be at a premium. So I mean, it's going to come out. It's going to come out in a multitude of ways, from the run game to the screen game. You know what I'm saying? To the long game, to the mid game. It's going to be a fun thing to see.
yeah,
Now, the absolute results. Um, how is because I think this offense is going to be a enigma, um, a what's the word I'm searching for? Multifaceted,
yeah.
chameleon type. Being able to
It's gonna be
metamorphoses
like an amoeba.
itself. Into many different things. You know, we are. Everybody knows we can run the ball. Everybody knows that we can run the ball.
Right.
Okay, and coming off of that, and what we're going to be able to do off the run game. The play action, and like the screen game. Uh,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Even you know what I'm saying, highlighting, being, the check down game, jump off into the flats or just underneath, with what we have, you turn a 3 to 5 yard dump off into an 80 yard play. We have those type of weapons available. So Jack
Yeah,
Robinson is going to be able to, it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to be able to show us and what actually his actual scheme is, and what his vision is for this offense.
yeah, because people forget a lot. Or better yet, a lot of people don't know, or they choose not to do their research. That one thing about Zach, man, he's from the Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. As we all know, that Bill Walsh coaching tree is very wide and very vast. So,
Hmm.
in a sense, he's learning a lot. He's pretty much got that West Coast offense, man, which is really going to do well for Michael Penix, man. It's really going to do quite well for not just Michael Penix, but for the rest of the guys on the offense, man. I mean, Zach Robinson, I've watched a lot of his stuff when he was with, the Rams, when he was doing a lot of his stuff in the background. Man,
Hmm.
this boy trained to go. Zach Robinson is trained to go. That's why I feel like the way Kyle Pitts is going to benefit a lot more because he's going to put Kyle Pitts in a lot more positions. To me, I feel like it, people don't realize it. I would not be surprised if Zach started putting Kyle in motions. I would not be surprised if he started putting Ray in motions. I would not be surprised if he started putting um, Bijan or Tyler Algier on wide receiver routes. Start spreading them out. Start using the passing game more as an extension of the run game. And people don't realize how good Zach could be now that he got more pieces. He got
Hmm.
more people to utilize. Trust me, this Zach gonna really gonna be in his bag this season. But what I'm fearful of though is that he may be too good, and then you're gonna have people start crying, trying to get him away to become a head coach.
Well, that's going to be a given. I think we're going to have him all of the next 2 years, and then he'll be off to his own um, head coaching job, um, because with what he has at his disposal, he is going to be on display. He's going to be on display. That's a given.
And then, the thing is too, if he were to get picked up for a head coaching job, the Falcons had better make sure that you have somebody that's within the organization that is learning, understanding this offense, and keeping the continuity up. Because we don't want to end up what happened with the last regime. Now,
Yeah,
I don't want to open up room.
I don't see us
But
repeating
I didn't,
twenty
I didn't,
seventeen.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. But that's an example. You got to
and
learn from the
and
past.
I think that honestly, I think that this is I think we already have that guy, as a backup plan. I think um TJ Yates is vastly growing as an offensive mind, um from a coordinating and QB coaching perspective. Um, so that I'm just a possibility. Just something in someone that's already on staff, um, that knows this West Coast offense very well. He's been in it his whole career, playing and coaching.
Mm.
But that is just a wondering thought. Um, like I opened up open up the show. Man, Mike, I think it was Friday that he dropped that poll. Um, and it was, if you had the first pick and you had to do all over again, knowing what you know, who would you take? Michael Vick, Michael Penix, Matt Ryan. Uh, and it got very interesting. And in some spots, in some parts, it got kind of sickening. There were some comments, which spurred me to have this topic. With what we know about Michael Vick, the delusion is still real. Um, Look, everybody knows how I feel, and I've said everything I've said about Vick's time here. Um, but there was one comment that kind of boiled my oil a little bit. The person said that I would take Michael Vick, and made sure that he had the right coaching around him, and say that he didn't. And those who were around that are old enough to know and remember factually around that time about that coaching staff. Let me inform you, one of the better QB coaches and offensive coordinators, um, off the very same tree that Slim Reaper mentioned, that Bill Walsh, West Coast offense. Greg Knapp was on staff as the coordinator in Michael Vick's time here. Okay. Greg Knapp was the QB genius not used for the Vick. All right. You know what I'm saying? And we are all abreast of the playbook in the trunk. We're all abreast of him turning down Steve Young and Warren Moon for advice. Um, you know, but to say that this man, see, that just rolls on the lines of, what was talking about, he didn't have any weapons. Well, yeah, he had Greg now. That was weapon enough alone. All you had to do was use it.
Yep.
Okay.
Pains me,
Greg
man.
Knapp, God rest his soul, was one of the better QB minds and QB coaches and offensive coordinators to grace this game.
Mm.
All right. And to say that Michael Vick did not have, insinuate that, it lets me know that a lot of y'all are just uninformed. What up, Frank? Mr. Knight, how y'all doing? It's just the 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 mass delusion, the mass delusion, to want to say he didn't have this and he didn't have that. Some of what I've said also I've used to say about your boy up there in Baltimore.
Mm.
Okay. Now, Michael Vick was a part of a backfield that led the league in rushing 2 years straight.
DVD, man.
Yes. Okay. And if you had an offensive line that could produce 3,000 yards rushing 2 years straight, don't want to hear that about not having no offensive line. All right. And y'all, you want to holler about he didn't have this. Okay. Michael Vick was instrumental in ending Peerless Price's career as a receiver in the NFL.
Mm.
and he almost derailed Roddy White's career. Okay,
Mm,
explain to me how Roddy White was able to be successful with Matt Ryan.
but to go
Mm,
back what you just said about Peerless Price, how
yeah,
is it that you go to Buffalo Bills and you was with Drew Bledsoe, you have 25 touchdowns, but you come to Atlanta on they gave you the money, signed you to a contract, but when you came down here, you only scored 2 or 3 touchdowns.
mm,
Not only that, you know, I remember that show. What's that show name? Because I don't want to give them no type of
you mean
motion or anything like that.
you
What's their
you,
name?
you, you talking about
The
the
Water
Bucket
Boy.
Boys?
Yeah, 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 yeah. They were like how Peerless Price kind of made a comment about what they said, and I'm like, did Peerless Price did he lie? In those
Yeah,
comments that he said on that Facebook chat, he didn't lie not one bit. And that's always been my issue. Because I've always heard these same people, and you skate night in the chat. He knows what I'm talking about because he's been on every single platform on AFN. He knows what I'm talking about. You know how is it that these same individuals, these same Falcon fans, right? They always love to use Julio, saying that, oh, if Vick had Julio, we would have won the Super Bowl. Now, my question to them is this: since they love to talk in yes or no questions and not speak on context,
Yeah.
how was that going to work when, for one, he did not practice nor have developed any chemistry with the receivers that he had before, which was one, Michael Jenkins, drafted in the first round, Roddy White, drafted in the first round, right? Peerless Price. How is that going to work how is that going to work with Julio when you couldn't work with the guys that you had previously?
mm,
Because the only guy we forget, here's the thing: the one person that always saved your butt and got you out of trouble, kept you out of trouble on the field was Algie Crumpet.
facts, facts.
So then when I hear people say this, how is you gonna succeed with Julio Jones, but yet you didn't practice with your receivers, nor you didn't read the playbook? How is that gonna work?
See, again, that with what we know about Michael Vick,
Now,
and
can I
in
explain straight away?
the poll, in this poll that man might get put up with him, Penix. Now, me myself, I dismissed Penix at the mix. Ricky, um, you know, that takes away that vote.
Yeah,
Again, what we know.
yeah,
I mean, it's a easy pick. It's a easy vote. But 60% of these idiots chose Michael Vick.
yeah.
Not the
Oh,
Hall
shout
of
out to
Fame.
Frank too, man. Shout out to Frank Bibbs, man.
You know what I'm saying? Not not the Hall of Famer that made the Falcons a consistent contender, you know what I'm saying, during this time as
Mm,
quarterback. Went to two NFC championship games, won one, had a Super Bowl appearance. Um, you know what I'm saying, Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, MVP, you know what I'm saying? Over 60,000 yards passing. Had a career completion percentage of what, 68, 69%,
Mm.
66%, something like that. You know what I'm saying? His performance in the Super Bowl set a record that still stands right now. But they chose Michael Vick.
yeah,
I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna start with Jaden and let him answer uh, answer first. Um, how much truth is it to the dismissal of Matt Ryan history in Atlanta?
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah,
Before I get into that, I just want to say rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner from the Cosby Show.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That
condolences
that
to his
that hit
family.
me like a brick, bro. Yeah.
Condolences to his family. But anyway, like I was saying, to be honest, it is. It's a lot of dismissal of Matt Ryan because when he was here, he was getting all this hate, all this criticism, all this, all that. Soon he leave, now y'all want him to come back. No. Mm-mm. No, sir. We're not doing that. Because the same one, see, this is the thing a lot of people don't know. It's amazing how y'all hate on Matt Ryan all these years. But as soon as he won the MVP, oh man, he just stat pad, man. He ain't gonna do nothing else. He ain't gonna do this. He ain't gonna do that.
Yeah,
Nah,
I'm glad you threw that in there. I'm gonna slide a quick question in there, and then I'm gonna let you continue.
mm-hmm.
How is it stat pattern when you throw touchdown to 13 different receivers?
Yeah, I never understood that. I never have.
That means every tight end caught a touchdown. All three of your running back caught touchdowns. All six of your receivers caught touchdowns.
Even your fullback caught a touchdown.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh, the great Pat DeMarco, man, which
Yes,
still hate this friend. I'm just not to cut off what Jalen
Yeah,
was saying because he was cooking, still cooking. The same franchise that didn't want to sign him to a deal, man. And up to this day, I'm still mad about how they didn't re-sign Pat DeMarco, man. For
I,
real, because I think they didn't want to come between. I think it was about $1 million, $2 million.
that was
I was like,
Demetrius.
but I
I,
tell
I
you this
was
though,
like, for real.
That
And
was
this man
Demetrius.
was the reason why your run game was good.
man, and you know it's crazy, bro. I really watched it. And I'm like, man, y'all better not let this man walk out the building.
And sure enough, they did.
Now, had it been Terry, Terry wouldn't let that man walk. I'm just saying.
That was Thomas Dimitrov.
I've been saying it about that man for years. But like I was saying, amazing. All these guys, Matt Ryan made better. He made Julio to a monster. Sanu got his numbers. Calvin really balled out before he started doing the dumb shit he did. Gabriel was eating everybody. But number 7, when we asked this question, who does he make better? All you hear is crickets.
Hmm.
Cricket. That's all you hear. So when it comes to Matty Ice, man, he's the dope in this franchise. That's just me.
Yeah, yeah,
Because if you
yeah,
think, because look at what he's done. Look at what he's done the whole time he's been here. Look at the numbers he's put up. Look at the game on the line. Look at the game winning drives numbers. Look at those.
yeah, yeah.
Leadership, holding guys accountable, all that. You didn't have that with 7.
People got paid. Coaches got jobs because of Matt Ryan.
Thank you.
You know,
Even Sanu gave Matt Ryan his flowers.
yeah.
How many receivers that played Michael Vick gave him his flowers in this franchise? In this
Hey,
franchise,
hey, hey, yeah. Hey, look. The funniest thing to me was Michael Jenkins.
he the only one.
No, it was no. He didn't give Vic no flowers. He gave the camera a look like
Oh Lord.
I can't even. I
But
mean, because when you look at okay, Jenkins, Roddy, yeah, I mean,
mm-hmm.
it was questioned if they was going to even have a NFL career in
But
their first season, and they Vic at the helm. Then
no.
you insert
Mm-hmm.
Matt Ryan,
Look at all.
Michael Jenkins. You know what I'm saying? Leaves and go get 88 million. I mean, 88 million in Minnesota. Roddy becomes a Hall of Famer.
Oh, he went to Minnesota after he left Atlanta.
Yeah, Michael Jenkins. Yeah, Michael Jenkins did.
Okay. But see, this the thing though, man. what these when Matty Ice came in, look how much the offense, look how better the offense got.
Mm.
Wasn't none of
Oh
that.
yeah.
It wasn't none of that video game Mike Vick crap.
Well, Matt was a film geek. You know what I'm saying? He was an off season workout fool. You know what I'm saying? He was a
Mm-hmm.
consummate leader. Uh, he was a coach, an extension of the coach on the field.
Yep.
Um, you know, to to that to that degree. Um, Again, people got paid. People got jobs coaching Matt Ryan, playing with Matt Ryan. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Guys got paid.
Yep.
Harry Douglas, he left and got coins.
Went to Tennessee, ain't did nothing there.
You know what I'm saying? Guy, coach. Guy, Mike McCarthy got a head coaching job from being here with Matt. Uh,
Mike McCarthy was in Atlanta.
No,
yeah,
Malarkey.
Mike
yeah,
Yeah,
McCarthy.
Malarkey.
Malarkey.
Mike McCarthy.
Malarkey.
Yeah,
Yeah, he got a coaching
you know
job
what I'm
with
talking about.
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
And see, on the, this is a funny thing. Do you notice almost in every offense Matt Ryan has been in, he's put up big numbers?
Yeah, it's just to me and to kind of coincide with everything you've said thus far. When it goes back to the receivers,
Right.
Calvin Ridley gave Matt his flowers. Roddy White gave Matt his flowers. A lot of guys that was part of this entire squad gave Matt his flowers. See, I did some research the other day, and I want to kind of um, present
Yeah.
this little tidbit of information. When
Mm-hmm.
you look at Matt Ryan's career and the players that he was with, when you look at every single roster from 2008 till probably before he left, or we could add that in when he was with Indianapolis,
Yeah.
Matt was around 596 players.
Mm-hmm.
596 players, right?
Right.
Because
Mm-hmm.
the issue that with the dismissal of people have this I could say hatred. A lot of people don't want to say, "Oh, haters are strong," right? No, I'm like, no, y'all don't like that dude. Quit acting like you
They
did,
don't. They don't.
right? And the thing is, because I would hear some of them say, because I got into an argument with one guy in that very same post,
Yeah.
right? This dude gonna sit and tell these lies that Matt had all these Hall of Famers, and I'm like, okay, so out of 596 players, you mean to tell me he played with only two Hall of Famers per se. Let's just be honest. Julio, okay, sure, he's there. He's fringe. Tony Gonzalez, sure, fine Hall of Famer. Alex Mack, he's right there. But the thing is, he only got with certain guys at the end of their careers.
Hey
When you
Slim.
look at certain teams, how they were constructed, when you go back to, let's say, because a lot of these characters love to bring up 2012, and they love to bring up this and that, and the guy tried to tell me that 2012 was a super team, and I'm like, in what world?
No, it
Based
was
on the offensive side of the ball or on the defense?
that
Because
defense.
that was the biggest
Oh,
issue during Matt's career was
defense.
the defense. When you look at Michael Vick, the '04 team. Oh,
Yeah.
he had good defenses. People don't want to believe that, but he had good defenses and a run game. When
Mm-hmm.
was the last time Matt Ryan had a run game that was continuity? When you say you always had a continuous run game during his career, it was spotty, very spotty. You had
Yeah.
Michael Turner for like 2 years, and then after that, you let him go after everybody knew he was done. You bring in Steven Jackson for a 2-year deal, knowing that that man was through.
That
There was
motherfucker.
no tread on the tires. Then
Mm-hmm.
you go ahead, you wait another year or two before you bring in Devontae Freeman. to do
Yep.
a little something. Tevin Coleman for after the I think 2015, 2016 draft. I think you
Yeah.
brought him in.
Mm-hmm.
The problem that I said a lot of people again don't want to look at in context. They don't want to look at full context whatsoever.
Right.
Matt never really had a strong run game over the years. Maybe outside a few years. Because I've always said when it comes to your coaching will make or break your team. It doesn't matter how good your quarterback is and everything else on top of that. When you don't, as a franchise, when you don't know how to develop your talent and you don't know how to have continuity, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to, you're not going to have that consistency. People used to rag on Matt about, oh, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, oh, he doesn't throw a deep ball and all that other bourgeoisie. But he was always consistent. He was the only thing outside of a few players that was consistent. When was the rest of the team going to catch up?
But
Nobody
well,
talks about the offensive line.
Yep.
Nobody ever talked about the defensive line.
Mm-mm.
That was always patchwork or inconsistency in the trenches. But when
that
it came
that
to the
was another
quarterback,
lie.
go
That
ahead.
was another lie that people would tell on Matt Ryan when there's video document evidence to the contrary. 80% of Roddy White's highlight package is the damn deep ball.
Thank you.
50 to 60% of Julio's highlight package of his whole career here is a deep ball. Harry
Mm-hmm.
Douglas, deep ball. Austin Hooper, deep ball. Michael Jenkins, yeah, 66-yard strike was his first goddamn pass in the NFL. But no, Noodle can't throw the deep ball. Lies,
Yeah.
lies.
So the last time Matt Ryan had a top 10 defense was when 17, right?
You could say that, and the
It
reason
was.
why I say that, wait, I mean, hold on, wait.
I think that was like. I think the ranking was like 15th or 18th or
Who was
something
the
like that.
who was the defensive coordinator that year? You remember?
For which year? Which year?
17 year we played.
17 was Marquand Manuel, but the reason why I say that because a lot of them love to bring up that year. They love to talk about that particular defense. And the reason why I say there's a lot of chinks in that armor. When I say that, I'm saying that defense in particular. You know why I say there's a lot of chinks in that armor, and I say there's a lot of smoke and mirrors with that defense. I'm gonna tell you why. The problem with that defense is that they couldn't stop the run.
See.
Another thing, they really couldn't get at the quarterback as much as you thought they would
Mm-hmm.
because when Adrian Claiborne was with the team that year, per se, remember that
Mm-hmm.
year when we
Oh
played
yeah,
against the Cow? Remember
Yeah.
that?
like
Remember
nine.
that year when we played against the Cowboys?
Yeah, 8 sacks.
And yeah, and
Oh yeah.
everybody was getting happy that he got that 6 game sacks, all the 6 sacks
And then
on Dak Prescott. But then they didn't realize that you weren't playing against Tyron Smith. You were
nope.
playing against a third string left tackle, and I think it was Trent Green, from what
Well,
I recall.
well, if you
Right?
would have played Tyron Smith, that would have been a whole different ball game.
Oh yeah, and then and it is again, people don't speak in context.
Nope.
People don't do that because, and let me break it down even further. When you look at that year, the first half of the season, everybody was running the ball on that Falcons defense. Everybody, Miami, New England, so on and so forth. That first half of the season, everybody was playing. Everybody
Okay.
was milking the clock. They were playing time of possession. They were running the football to tire the defense out. So that means the offense had to go right back out and
Yeah.
and make something happen
That
because they
sounds.
weren't getting third down stops.
That sounds very familiar, don't it?
Yeah, people
And
don't talk about that, man.
we talking about 2017, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah. Matt had the same MVP number that he had in 16.
Yep.
and then he had him. I think he had the no, he had the MVP
In
numbers in
18 too.
2018.
18 too.
Yeah,
8, that defense was. I think. Who was calling the defense 18? Was it Was it Dan Twin or was
I'm
it
trying to remember because I think he took over the defense and
19?
What Raheem? What wasn't that Raheem down there?
yeah, Raheem was like the wide receivers
I think he
coach
was.
for
I think he
20. I
was.
think 2016.
Yeah.
2017, Marco Armelio was the defensive coordinator, but I'm trying to remember who was the defensive coordinator in
2000.
2019, 2018,
Now,
2019.
now I know 2019 in the bye week. I think Jeff Obert took over. I don't know if y'all
Yeah,
remember.
Jeff Over took over, and then I think 2020.
Wasn't it Charles Smith or
Rich,
Charles White or something to that
Rich.
effect?
You had Brian Young too. Brian Young was the defensive line coach.
Oh, okay.
Brian Young, I don't know if Brian Young took over the defense at one point, but he was our defensive line coach at that time. I think for like maybe 1 or 2 years, and then I think he left the team to retire to be with his family.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just looking in totality. When you look at every single defense, every alliteration of the defense during the Matt Ryan era, there's not one defense during that time frame you can say that that was a lethal defense.
Hey, I just
Because
looked.
think about it, and I've said this before, Sam.
Hmm.
You cannot ask not one Falcon fan in this city when was the last time we had a lethal defense. They always say top 10, trying to say top 10. But when you peel the layers open, you pop the hood open, dog, that that to me, honestly, that had the lookings of a top 10 defense. But when it came down to it, no. It was always bottom 10. You know what I'm saying? It
We
was
ain't had a
always the
defense
bottom of the
since
barrel.
1976.
Yeah. It was always the bottom of the barrel. Because I even say to this day, I've always asked friends of mine that are not Falcon fans, when was the last time you ever said to yourself, when it pertains to the Falcons defense, when was the last time you could say, like, damn, bro, y'all got a defense, man.
Hey,
That defense is a problem. He gonna give my team problems.
hey. Speaking of defense, I just looked it up, y'all. It was Marquand Manuel who took
Yeah.
over 18. So I was right on that part.
Okay. But that's just think about it. Really ask yourself this question. Real, and I want people in the chat to really ask themselves that question. When was the last time a friend of yours that are not Falcon fans, that's a fan of opposing team in the division or anybody within the rest of the league? When was the last time you had a friend come and say to you when they looked at the Falcons defense and say, like, damn, bro, y'all gonna give us problems?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Dog.
Nobody.
Defense was.
Nobody. And it's like, again, when you have these type of conversations and when you go into full
Yeah.
context, I'm sorry, folks are crickets.
Man,
They fold like lawn chairs out here, bro.
it's like you can't hear nothing they talking about.
Nothing.
Yep.
They say, well, yeah, man. Or better yet, they'll try to make these excuses and say, well, if number two would have, give some money back, we have a
No,
defense.
no.
No, if you know how to actually build a team, you still would have had a defense even with the contract if the organization knew how to build the defense with the right coaching staff. Because mind you, we had two offensive minded coaches that couldn't build the defense to save their fucking lives, man. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's just be honest. I love Mike Smith, but bro, come on, man. When you had Ray Hamilton as the defensive line coach, yeah, y'all couldn't build no defense, man.
Hey, where did he come from, by the way?
Who? Who?
Hamilton.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was Cleveland or somewhere else. I'm trying to remember because he was with for the Falcons for a while. He left, and I'm trying to remember. I think he went to Cleveland. I could be wrong. If you can look it up, but he was with Atlanta for a while, and there was times where, when you look at the playoffs during the Matt era, the Arizona game, gave up a lead. The Kurt Brookin
Don't
incident in that
remind me.
game.
Keep
Yeah.
Rucking giving it up to Fred Davis
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
30 and 22.
I
Don't,
know,
don't
I
remind me.
know, I know.
Don't remind me.
But the Giants game, giving up 24 points, Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs running the ball down the middle. We couldn't stop nobody. There's a lot of incidents during the Matt Ryan era that a lot of people don't want to talk about because all they wanted to do was point the finger at two. That's all they wanted to do. But Jaden, as you stated beforehand,
Yeah.
all these people used to say this and say that about the man.
Hey, so you know what's crazy? I'm looking at
So go ahead,
the 2012. Do you know how much of a bad defensive coordinator Mike Nolan was?
man.
And you telling me that defense was good that year? No, it was
No,
trash.
it wasn't good. And again, I'll even go into that too. If people look at that defense or look at that team, because the dude I was arguing with was trying to tell me that 2012 team was a super team, and I'm like, if you give Matt Ryan the '04 team with the run game and the defense,
They won in the
we
Super
got a
Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Thank you.
We got a Super Bowl. I don't care what nobody say. You give Matt Ryan that '04 team with that defense, with guys like Patrick Kearney and Rod Coleman and the like, and that run game with TJ Duckett and Warwick Dunn, we got a championship, bro.
So, hey, dog. So
Bar none.
last time I checked, when you watched the 2012 game in that playoffs, what did the defense do in the second half?
Bro, they gave up 20 points
So you
against Seattle.
thank you. So I mean,
They gave up 17 points in the NFC Championship game because one, we didn't make adjustments.
nope.
Two, I'll even add more to that from the offensive side of the ball. Michael Turner got hurt, which a lot of people don't want to talk about, and then you had Chris Rogers in initiating the run game. As soon as Turner went out, that's when everybody on that defense, from Ahmad Brooks to Alden Smith, Justin Smith, Ray McDonald,
As soon
they
as
started
Michael
honing
Turner
in
went
on them.
down, the 49ers started blitzing every play.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Mike Singletary was a defensive coach then, wasn't he? Was he the defensive? No,
Wait
was
a
he the
minute.
head coach or the
What?
No,
defensive?
no, Singletary wasn't there. Singletary wasn't there. He was the head coach at one point, but he was. I don't think he was there because people forget. Um,
You know what? Right? I mean, because Harbaugh was the coach. Harbaugh was the
Harbaugh
coach.
was the coach, but people don't
Harbaugh was
realize
the coach.
Mike
Because it was the
Singletary.
Harbaugh brothers in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because Mike Singletary drafted a lot of those players.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
Singletary
remember.
was there before Harbaugh.
Yeah,
Right.
because people forget Mike Singletary and Mike Nolan, a lot of those guys drafted those guys. But then you also had the executive vice president who was part of the 49ers at one point. I think his name was Steve no, not Steve, but his last name was McLaughlin. He
Yeah.
was the one that was part of that front office that drafted a lot of those guys from the 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Because McLaughlin was with both of those organizations at one point in time, and he drafted those guys on from both teams, like your Patrick Willis's and your Richard Sherman's and your Vavar Bowman's. He was one guy that put a lot of those guys together from that team, right? Because Mike Nolan was also part of that 49ers squad when he was the head coach, and he put his expertise in drafting a lot of those guys from that year. So a lot of the guys that Mike Nolan drafted and Michael Singletary brought in and McLaughlin, all those guys went against us in that NFC Championship game.
Well,
And they did what they needed to do, and they went to the Super Bowl that year.
that defense took.
I would say this much: if Matt Ryan had the defenses that Vick had in '03, '04, and '05, if he'd have had that in 16, 17, and 18, we got 3 championships.
Yep.
And that's what nobody want to talk about. So
Yeah.
every
Uh-huh.
so I mean every single time, not to cut nobody off, but
Right.
that's why every single time I've always said, not one Falcon fan that loves to oppose what we say or what we say on all these platforms, not one of them will come up and tell you when was the last time Atlanta had a top three, top five defense. When was the last time we were able to facilitate and and put out a defense that was top three, top five? I've always said that we ain't had that in 45 seasons. And when you ask them that and you try to break it down, they get quiet. But they'll sit there and tell you, me, and everyone else, oh, we won a Super Bowl. We want championships. We want this, want that. But you single handedly dissed the guy for 14 years that was trying to do his damnedest to bring a championship to this town. But yet, the franchise failed him. The coaching staffs failed him. A lot of things failed him. But then when he leave, all of a sudden, oh yeah, damn, I miss Matt Ryan. Yeah, I gave him the blues. You weren't saying that when he was here. And then too, the fact that Cam Newton called the whole city out.
He
He
did.
called the whole fan base out. And
He
people
called.
got in their feelings when he said that.
What did he say, man?
Oh, he said that
Yeah.
y'all didn't appreciate Matt Ryan.
No, no.
That was the interview. That was the sit down where he had with Matt, and he was the one that finally got Matt to say the truth about how he felt about the fan base.
And Matt was like, do you feel like you were appreciated in this town? And he was like, the
Oh,
short
definitely
answer, no.
not. Oh, definitely not. He said, and those were definitely not. Absolutely not.
And people got in their feels about it. I'm like, he didn't lie. And that alone pretty much exposed the fan base. People don't
Yeah.
realize when he said that, that really exposed the fan base.
And bro, you know it's crazy, Slim. You see the hurt.
Well,
Go ahead.
well. The thing is, you look at Matt Ryan's time in Atlanta. Just like Frank said, Matt had to be elite. Matt had to be Superman. You know what I'm saying, for this Atlanta Falcon team, while Michael Vick just had to show up.
And that just goes by the standards, bro. That's what people don't understand. It's just like they were more focused on relatability than accountability. But when it
Right.
came to Mac, it was more about holding him more accountable because he didn't fit the image, the symbolism. You know what I'm saying? And just call it what it is. A lot of folks, man, just didn't like him because he was the complexion for the protection. They can't be honest, man. They
Nope.
they just can't. They
Yeah,
can't.
yeah. Black Lana did not love Matt Ryan.
Hey, Slim.
Period, point blank.
Hey, Slim.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I don't know if you know, bro, but there was a time on social media that had Matt Ryan wife Sarah come out and call out the motherfuckers that was hating on her husband. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
Oh yeah.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Sarah didn't play that, man. Like people don't understand. Like Sarah was a goon, man. She was a goon. You know what I mean? Like anytime folks were calling out her, man, she'd go on social media and get at them. She
Mhm.
didn't care. She would get at them. And
She was
people.
on these Atlanta media guys' heads.
Like, was it like what's that dude name? Was it Mike Bell or somebody like that?
Oh, she was on
Oh,
his head on on a weekly basis. She was on his neck.
Oh, yeah, I don't understand why.
because I remember
I don't
Mike
understand
Bell
why
used to
they do it.
say we used to be real slick. There was a lot of people, not just him, but also Stephen A. Smith, Ellie
Hmm.
Duncan, the rappers, a lot of cats around here. Yeah, Ricky Smiley said some slick stuff. Or the Stews, they said some slick stuff. A lot of people around here, man. It's just the fact when he broke out, all of a sudden. Oh, matter of fact, let me bring something else to your attention. Remember years ago when Ellie Duncan was on the '85 South Show? I remember Carlos Miller, was saying a little slick stuff or whatnot, and she was on there, and she was just like, "Oh well, I always had something, always said something about him, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Girl, you a Denver Broncos fan from Georgia? What
No,
what 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 was what
first
is
of
it?
all,
Go ahead."
she ain't got nothing to be talking about. If she a Broncos fan, you from Georgia.
Yeah,
And
you Slam. I mean, Sam, you know what I'm talking about, Ellie Duncan.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I
know.
Yeah.
remember Stephen A. Smith used to say some slick ass shit, and I'm like,
What the hell he say about Matt?
oh, Sam, go ahead, bro.
I want to
Go ahead,
hear
man. Go ahead, man.
this.
Please
I
go
want
ahead,
to hear
man.
this, boy.
From I mean, even going back to 2012. Now, I always said the 2012 game. Yeah, the defense did give up the
Right.
lead, but at the end, we on that particular play, is he should have he should have went to Tony instead of trying to go to Roddy. You know, I tell people all the time, I give you that on the 2012 game. But
Well, now
but
one
26 to the Super Bowl, you know, Stephen A. Smith was, you know, you're Matt Ryan, the Hall of Famer. You should have the cachet to change the plays. You know what I'm saying? Audible, and run the damn ball and this, that, and the third. And you know, he's not being accountable to this. I like, what?
well to
What
go
the
back on
fuck?
the 2012 on that play, a lot of people I know, a lot of people said he should have thrown to Tony. But what a lot of people didn't realize, I remember Matt was with what was that guy that used to be part of the AJC? He used to be part of the AJC for a while. Then I think he retired. Yeah, he was with him, and they had like I don't know, it was an interview, and they actually showed a tape of the game itself, the play. Matt specifically said that when you look at that particular play, everybody was bracketed because remember, Vic DeFangio was the defensive coordinator that year, right? When you look at that play, everybody was bracketed. They had Tony Gonzalez in the trap coverage because Deshaun Goldson was sneaking right there. He was right there. And as we all know, Deshaun Goldson was a ball hog, man. Sometimes he's seen it coming. So the way he looked at it, as Matt said to him, said, you know, out of his own mouth, Roddy was the target. It's just that call didn't go through because Bavario Bowman was holding him.
Oh man, I got some breaking news. Phillip Rivers retires as a Charger. How about that?
Uh, hey, he had a great career.
Well,
Hey,
I mean, well, he been retired. Shit.
I mean, yeah, but you know, just to finally get his accolade and finally, you know, retire as a Charger, they
Damn,
should have did it a long time ago. But you
damn,
know,
I
man.
mean, he's probably going to be a second or third ballot Hall of Famer.
Hey, you know it's crazy, man. The damn generation is coming to an end with these damn quarterbacks, boy.
yeah, everybody we have from Eli Manning, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger. I mean,
And only ones that are left for Flacco and Rogers.
Yeah.
yeah, but I think those two are gonna call it quits in a little bit.
No, the motherfucker that's here need to call it quits. That's what he need to do.
Well, you know that's going to be that in a little bit. Um, we're going to give our closing thoughts on this here situation of the disrespectful glazing of Michael Vick. That is to the fans trying to erase and dismiss the history of Matt Ryan in the ATL. We guys give our closing thoughts. We're gonna wrap this thing on up and get on out of here and let the day go on.
Yeah. My closing thoughts is stop kissing my ass because he wasn't shit. Okay. He's a video game having ass player that everybody loves, all because he went to Magic City and had to play within the trunk. Tell me I'm lying.
Yep.
No, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Stop hating on Matt Ryan. That's all I got.
Well, my closing thoughts on this particular topic is the fact that no matter what they say, what they try to say, you can't erase Matt Ryan from the history books.
No sir. No
You
sir.
you can't do that. You could, you know, you could feel a certain type of way all you want, but he is the greatest Falcon of the greatest Falcon quarterback in this franchise. No matter how you slice it, dice it, process it. I mean, you can hate the boy all you want, but hey, he's in the record books. It ain't. I mean, it's gonna be a while before anybody touches some of those records, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a minute, you know, because the way the game is changing now, it's not going to be all this, you know, passing and doing this and doing that. Yeah, a lot of teams are going back the old school way. They're going back to ground and pound and making the necessary plays and being, you know, in trench play. So again, it's going to be a minute before somebody let alone anybody that was wearing a Falcons uniform and quarterback. It's going to be a minute before somebody breaks those records. But in totality, when it comes to Vic, man, and when it comes to Vic, people got to understand that a lot of us right here in this panel, a lot of us on the platform, we all are fans. We were all the fans of Vic. A lot of us wore his jersey. A lot of us was rooting for Michael Vick. A lot of us, yeah, even so, we may have our issues with Vic. A lot of us love Vic. The problem is just that he didn't handle his business. That's what a lot of people don't want to admit. Vic didn't handle his business. And if y'all allow me to go further on these closing thoughts when it pertains to Vic, my issue with Vic is just that, again, bro, come on, man. When the whole situation went down, you got so many people in this town was rooting for you, bro. Everybody was rooting for you. Even folks was holding you down. We used to have people in the city say, "Oh, he didn't do that. Oh, he didn't do that. He was involved in that situation." But the fact that not only you lied to Arthur Blank, you
Mm,
lied to the man that took care of you, man. Made
exactly.
sure that you was straight. That's why, truthfully, that's why a lot of people don't like Vic, because you lied to Arthur Blank. That's what a lot of people don't want to admit to. The reason why people don't like Vic is the fact that one, you didn't handle your business as a quarterback. You just didn't hold it down, and then two, you lied to the owner who held you down when things was going right. Because truth be told, Arthur Blank was the one that was trying to get him on a few game suspension before the feds came in and took over. But as I look at it, when it comes to Vic, he was a what if. He's a what if. If he would have handled his business, man, come on now. That man could have been one of the greats. That man could have been a surefire Hall of Famer. But despite the fact that, oh, he wanted to be all in the videos, all on the records, want to dance with Usher and T.I. and all them guys. And because due to all the other influences that were going on in the city, he allowed that to ruin what could have been a surefire Hall of Fame career. But the disrespect that number two get is unwarranted
Hey,
because he wasn't exciting enough for you. That's it.
hey, hey, I'll say this one more thing and I'm done. This fan base wants to be entertained more than they care about winning championships. That's all I gotta say.
Man. Hey, I've said that for years.
I'm not gonna
I've
say.
said that for years.
I
I've been saying that. I will continue to say that. A lot of people around here are more preoccupied with just trying to look good instead of be good. But then they have the audacity to be upset with these other teams that have championships. Or better yet, we're gonna take it there. You hate the Saints. People talk shit and hate on the Saints, but here's the one thing that they got that we still don't have. They have a championship. Yeah, it may have been it. Yeah, 2009 was a long time ago. We get that, but here's the thing: they got a championship. Regardless of Bounty Gate, regardless of what went down, they got one thing that we still don't have, and that's a Super Bowl. Until we get that, hey, you're always going to be second place, man. Yeah, people are always going to look at you as an afterthought, and that's what a lot of Falcon fans don't want to admit to.
nope.
Matter of fact, these are the same Falcon fans that was talking big cash money during the Super Bowl.
Oh, I
I
remember.
know this because I was at my job when the Super Bowl occurred. All these fans were sitting here again talking big cash money, talking big shit, running their mouths, being disrespectful to other people. And I'm just sitting there looking like the game ain't over. Like a lot of people in this town thought they had the game won. You had all the rappers going on social media, going live. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, we about to party. We about to do this and do that. 3 hours later, you could hear a pin drop fall in this town. If somebody wanted to rob a bank in the city of Atlanta after that, they would have had no problem.
Nope.
Everybody was talking big cash money in this town, but after that, dude, come on, man. Everyone out here in the town was looking and sounding like bounce checks after that, man.
Right.
But hey, I'm just I don't know, maybe I'm just ranting, but I'm just being honest, man.
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
ain't.
being honest. But
Well,
then too, people got mad when Nelly, you know the rapper Nelly, right? You know
Yeah.
Nelly, right?
Yeah.
He said the same thing, man. It was like, see, when Atlanta, this is how he put it. He was like, when Atlanta wins, people get turned up. But when they win even more, they get turned up even more. They don't understand that when it comes to trying to win a championship, I don't celebrate. This is just me, but I agree with a lot of people. You don't celebrate until that clock hits 000.
Right.
Because when during the game is going around and you talking big cash money, but then when you start losing the momentum and all that mess that you were talking,
Mm-hmm.
you was getting real braggadocious. Them same people you talking mess to gonna give it to you, and then when you lose the game, you gonna hear that, and that's exactly what Falcon fans have been hearing for the last 8 years.
And I'm tired.
8 years because of that. But Nelly said that as soon as that game was over, oh, it was so quiet. He was like 2 hours. It was like 2, 3 hours later in the city of Atlanta, you could have heard a pin drop. Cameron, who is an undercover Patriots fan, said that when he saw that game, he was like, "That was the worst thing I ever seen in my life, man." Falcons giving up that lead, man.
Cameron, the dude, the cat from that be on
Yeah,
the.
yeah. The rapper does with does that podcast with Mace. He
Okay.
said the same thing. Maurice Carlette. He was laughing his butt off when they said when they said that on the podcast. So the thing is, a lot of people in Atlanta put it on themselves, man, because they talk too much. They run their mouths like we won something. We haven't done nothing.
See, this the problem, bro. How you don't talk shit when you ain't done?
Hey, man,
well,
that's how I've always felt in this town, man. These are the same people that said that that championship with Atlanta United didn't count.
Man, the hell with that.
Come on now. The same championship that broke a 20-year championship drought in this town.
Thank you. So
But hey, but Sam, you can go ahead. You can continue what I just said, or you can give your own alliteration,
well,
of your of closing thoughts.
on the topic, uh, there is nothing about Michael Vick's career that deserves to be celebrated or praised or put up on a pedestal.
mm, nope.
And I'm talking jersey retirement, Ring of Honor, Hall of Fame, none of that. None of that. He doesn't have the numbers. He does not have the accolades. A lot of you people sit up here and you stand on the game, the run he had against Minnesota that he won in overtime. You try to rewrite history and claim that he took over the game in Lambeau, and which was a lie.
Yep.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to talking about factual things like him not beating Tampa, him not beating New Orleans, okay, uh, him making Brian Dawkins look like he had on a Falcon uniform in 2005 NFC Championship game, you don't talk about that game.
Nope.
Y'all don't talk about that game. But the guy that has the accolades, has the Super Bowl appearance, should have had the Super Bowl win. Um, that made this a contending team for the duration, for most of the duration he was the starting quarterback in Atlanta. You shit on, dismiss, try to wipe from history. Don't and don't give him his flowers, or just do as arguably one of the two or three greatest Falcons ever to put on a Falcon uniform.
Right.
The numbers say Matt Ryan, Ring of Honor, Jersey Retirement, Hall of Fame. The numbers say that. right?
Now the
You know,
question is, do you feel that because I feel like there's going to be some biasness when it comes to Matt and the Hall of Fame voting. You know, I always felt that based off the numbers, he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. But given the fact that, a lot of people still want to hang that Super Bowl on his head, and given that some of the
but
voters from
there,
back in
there's
the
gonna
day,
there's gonna be some shenanigans and chicanery for a couple of reasons. One, it coming under Arthur Blank's ownership, and there's a great bit of animosity amongst the owners against Arthur. Um, and then him being a quarterback here in Atlanta in itself are going to be the two biggest reasons why that's going to be. But like I said, the numbers say otherwise. Video document evidence say
yeah,
otherwise. And with that being said, we're gonna shut it down, close it out, end it. You know what I'm saying? This is just a little something to start y'all week off with. You know what I'm saying? You'll get the other members of Unholy Alliance later on tonight, probably about another hour and a half. Um, but for the Young Knight, for the Slim Reaper, it is the OG. Sam, hey man, you gotta keep it you gotta keep it dirty, and most of you gotta keep it real with yourself. Let your next choice be your best choice, ladies and gentlemen. We out.
Peace.
peace.